The result of this complex engineering is a simple, pure ingredient, perfect unsalted butter. And that's how making unsalted butter in a factory is made, from raw materials to the final product. At the break of day, the heart of the dairy industry begins its rhythmic pulse, receiving the lifeblood of production. Each tanker carries thousands of gallons of fresh milk, transported under strict temperature controls to ensure maximum quality. Science meets tradition here, as every drop of milk is analyzed for fat content and purity before it ever touches the production line. Once approved, the milk is vacuum pumped through a network of stainless steel arteries, moving at hundreds of gallons per minute. Stored in massive, climate-controlled silos, the milk is kept in constant motion to prevent separation before the cream is extracted. Every day begins with the arrival of hundreds of thousands of liters of fresh cream, delivered in temperature-controlled vessels. Strict protocols govern the unloading process, ensuring the raw material remains at a constant 4 degrees Celsius to preserve quality. Automated systems track every liter, monitoring fat density and purity before the cream is diverted to storage. Massive insulated silos act as a buffer, holding the raw cream in a state of suspended animation until the churns are ready. Before a single drop moves further, it must pass a battery of tests for purity, fat content, and bacterial stability. Before the first drop of cream enters our system, our quality specialists must certify its purity and fat content. Precision in the lab translates to consistency on the shelf. Every batch is measured to a fraction of a percent.
Dock 3, align and lock in. Pressure check. Copy it now. Silo intake open.
Coordination is the heartbeat of the factory, moving thousands of liters of cream through the intake vanes every hour. Maintenance engineers are the silent guardians of the process, ensuring every pump and seal operates at peak performance. From this command center, we oversee the journey of the cream as it moves from the trucks into our specialized storage silos. The journey begins here, where thousands of gallons of raw milk are transferred into our sterile ecosystem under strict temperature controls. Centrifugal clarification uses physics to purify the milk, ensuring that only the cleanest raw material moves forward in the production line. Enormous silos act as the facility's lungs, holding the milk at a precise temperature while constant agitation keeps the fat perfectly suspended. The separator is where the magic happens, pulling the rich cream away from the milk to create the foundation of our unsalted butter. Through a process of thermal maturation, we stabilize the cream's fats, preparing them for their transformation into a smooth, consistent product. Every liter of cream begins its journey through a network of cold stabilized steel, monitored for absolute purity. Precision is our primary ingredient. We track temperature and flow to the 1000th degree to ensure consistency. Before a single drop enters the churns, it must pass a battery of tests to verify its chemical profile. Buffer silos act as a holding stage, keeping the cream in constant motion to prevent the fat from settling. Centrifugal force is harnessed here to strip away any impurities, leaving behind only the purest dairy base. Inside the separator, centrifugal force achieves what gravity would take days to do, instantly isolating the rich cream required for premium unsalted butter. Pasteurization is a delicate balance of heat and speed, ensuring the cream is purified while preserving its natural, sweet flavor profile. Time and temperature are the invisible tools here. In these ripening vats, the fat molecules align to create the perfect structure for churning. Now fully matured, the cream is transported through a sealed, sterile network, pressurized and ready for the most violent part of the process. Removing air is vital for longevity. By stripping away oxygen, we ensure the butter remains fresh and maintains its creamy integrity from the first bite to the last. Initial filtration ensures that only the purest liquid enters our production line, removing any microsediments from the raw milk. By precisely controlling the temperature, we prepare the milk for the separation process where the cream is extracted. Centrifugal force is used to spin the milk, separating the dense skim from the rich, golden cream needed for our butter. Automation allows us to standardize the fat content with surgical precision, ensuring every batch of butter is consistent. The cream now rests in temperature-controlled silos, allowing the fat crystals to mature and develop the perfect texture. Every hour, thousands of gallons of fresh cream arrive at the facility, beginning the journey through a completely sealed and sterile environment. Quality control is paramount. Before the cream is even unloaded, its chemical composition is verified to ensure the perfect fat-to-moisture ratio. Once approved, the cream is stored in temperature-controlled silos where constant agitation maintains its uniform density. Centrifugal force is harnessed to concentrate the cream, stripping away excess milk solids until only the richest fats remain. Every liter of liquid gold is tracked digitally, ensuring the flow never stops as the factory preps for the next stage of transformation. The journey begins with the arrival of thousands of liters of farm-fresh cream, delivered in temperature-controlled tankers. Strict quality control protocols ensure that only the highest grade of cream enters the production cycle. Pasteurization is a non-negotiable step, using thermal energy to neutralize bacteria while preserving the cream's delicate proteins. Inside these massive cooling silos, the cream rests, allowing fat crystals to form, which will later determine the butter's texture. Centrifugal force is used to standardize the cream, ensuring every block of butter has a consistent, luxurious mouthfeel. The process begins with the arrival of raw, high-fat milk, sourced from local dairies and transported in temperature-controlled tankers. Before a single drop is processed, rigorous quality control tests determine the exact butterfat percentage and purity levels. Multi-stage centrifugal filters remove any impurities, ensuring the raw material is pristine before it undergoes thermal processing. Automated routing systems manage the flow, directing thousands of liters of cream through a digital manifold to storage silos. The cream is held in specialized tempering silos, where internal agitators and cooling jackets maintain the perfect temperature for crystallization. Every day, a fleet of specialized tankers delivers thousands of liters of fresh milk, the essential foundation of our high-quality unsalted butter. High-capacity pumps begin the transfer, pulling the chilled raw material through a series of sterile manifolds at a rate of 500 liters per minute. Before a single drop enters the production line, rigorous laboratory testing ensures the fat content and purity meet our exact specifications for premium butter. The milk is temporarily housed in these massive, temperature-controlled silos, which act as the heart of our facility's storage infrastructure. Precision thermal stabilization is critical. We maintain a delicate balance to preserve the natural integrity of the dairy before separation begins. The journey of premium unsalted butter begins here, at the intake docks, where thousands of gallons of heavy cream arrive under strict temperature controls. Every connection must be hermetically sealed to maintain the purity of the cream, ensuring no external air interferes with the delicate lipid structure. Before a single drop enters the production line, it undergoes rigorous chemical analysis to guarantee the highest fat content and optimal freshness. Once approved, the cream is propelled by high-capacity pumps into massive holding silos, where it is kept in constant motion to prevent separation. Temperature and velocity are monitored to the microsecond, ensuring the cream remains perfectly chilled as it moves toward the heart of the factory. Every day, thousands of tons of fresh, high-fat cream arrive at our facility, the lifeblood of the butter-making process. Precision in the transfer process ensures that not a single drop of raw material is wasted during the intake. Quality is our highest priority. Every batch is tested immediately to ensure it meets our rigorous purity standards. Precision in the transfer process ensures that not a single drop of raw material is wasted during the intake. Sanitation is automated and absolute, ensuring that every batch of butter is produced in a perfectly sterile environment. The journey begins with the arrival of high-fat cream, meticulously maintained at a constant chilled temperature. Each tanker delivers fresh cream that must be offloaded within a strict window to ensure maximum freshness. Before the cream is accepted into the main system, it undergoes a battery of tests for fat content and purity. Filtration and deaeration are essential to create a smooth, consistent texture in the final butter product. Once verified and filtered, the cream is stored in massive temperature-controlled silos, awaiting its transformation. Every day, thousands of gallons of fresh raw milk arrive at our facility, the essential foundation for our high-grade unsalted butter. Before the milk is processed, it must pass through a rigorous series of microscopic filters to ensure absolute purity and consistency. Our massive refrigerated silos act as the lungs of the factory, holding raw milk at precise temperatures until it is ready for separation. At the heart of the process, centrifugal force separates the heavy cream from the milk, concentrating the fats needed for premium butter. Flash pasteurization is the final step in the raw material phase, ensuring our cream is safe and perfectly stabilized for the churning process. The journey of butter begins with the arrival of raw, fresh milk from local dairy farms, delivered in temperature-controlled stainless steel tankers. Each tanker's cargo is pumped into massive insulated silos, where it is kept at a constant 4 degrees Celsius to preserve its integrity. Before storage, the milk undergoes a high-speed clarification process, removing any impurities through intense centrifugal force. Maintaining a strict cold chain is critical. The milk is instantly chilled as it passes through advanced plate heat exchangers. Rigorous testing is conducted on every shipment to verify fat content, protein levels, and the absolute absence of any contaminants. Every day, thousands of gallons of farm-fresh cream arrive at our facility, the lifeblood of the butter-making process. Precision coupling ensures that the raw cream is transferred under sterile conditions, maintaining the highest possible purity standards. Before a single drop moves forward, our automated systems analyze the cream to guarantee a consistent fat content for the unsalted butter. Rapid cooling is the secret to preserving freshness, utilizing advanced plate heat exchangers to stabilize the raw cream instantly. Massive storage silos act as the reservoir for our production, holding the cream at a constant temperature until the moment of churning. Every batch begins here, where thousands of liters of farm-fresh cream are weighed and verified for the production line. Strict hygiene protocols ensure that the cream remains uncontaminated as it moves into the facility's closed-loop system. Centrifugal force acts as a mechanical filter, stripping away impurities to leave only the purest cream for churning. Massive silos act as a thermal buffer, keeping the raw materials at optimal temperatures to preserve freshness and fat structure. Before a single drop moves forward, robotic sensors analyze the cream's chemical composition to ensure it meets our exacting standards. Every day, thousands of gallons of high-grade cream arrive at the facility, transported in temperature-controlled tankers to ensure absolute freshness. Securing a sterile connection is paramount. Even the slightest breach in the vacuum seal could compromise the integrity of the entire batch. High-capacity centrifugal pumps move the raw cream at a rate of 500 gallons per minute, directing it toward the primary cooling silos. Inside the surge tanks, constant agitation and precise temperature control prevent the cream from separating before the churning process begins. Sophisticated infrared spectroscopy allows for real-time analysis of fat content, ensuring the raw material meets the rigorous standards for unsalted butter. The journey begins at the intake bay, where raw, farm-fresh cream arrives under strict temperature controls. High-capacity pneumatic systems ensure a hermetic seal, protecting the raw materials from exposure during the high-speed transfer. Quality control is instantaneous. Every gallon is tested for precise lipid concentrations before it ever reaches the silos. Massive insulated silos act as a buffer, maintaining the cream at exactly 4 degrees Celsius to preserve its delicate chemical structure. Clarification utilizes extreme centrifugal force to ensure that only the purest cream moves forward into the pasteurization units. At the break of dawn, the first fleet of temperature-controlled tankers arrives, carrying the lifeblood of the dairy facility. Strict quality control begins immediately. Every liter is tested for purity before it ever enters the primary system. High-velocity pumps move the chilled milk through a labyrinth of sterile conduits at a rate of 50,000 liters per hour. These massive insulated reservoirs act as a buffer, holding the raw product in a state of suspended animation. Centrifugal force is the key. It spins the milk at incredible speeds to draw out the dense cream needed for the churn. Every morning, the factory breathes to life as the raw materials arrive, setting the stage for a day of high-precision dairy production. Integrity is paramount during the intake process, where every liter of cream must be transferred under vacuum-sealed conditions to maintain purity. Temperature control is the first line of defense, keeping the dairy at a constant 4 degrees Celsius to preserve its natural structure. Complex logic gates in the system automatically route the incoming supply to the correct holding silos based on precise chemical composition. Intake complete. Seal verified. With the raw cream 66 area, the star muncher is officially underway. Quality control is the final gatekeeper, where we measure moisture levels to ensure they never exceed the 16% threshold. Automated wrapping systems shield the butter from oxygen and light, preserving its delicate flavor profile for the consumer. Robotic precision ensures that thousands of units are palletized every hour, ready for global distribution without a single error. In the cold storage zone, the product is stabilized, ensuring that the cold chain remains unbroken from our facility to the store shelf. With the production complete, the butter is moved into sophisticated cold storage environments where automation handles every movement. Efficiency at the dock is paramount to maintain the cold chain and ensure the product reaches its destination in peak condition. The entire process is governed by a digital nerve center, tracking every gram of butter through its journey. And that's how butter is made in a factory is made, from raw materials to the final product.